Okay, so in this video, what I want to do is answer question 5a. So just again, as a reminder, you should have all these files in here. It's very important that you just make sure that you do have all these in here. So they want you basically to compress the lead vocals and these backing vocals. In the first instance, I would just make sure that you do understand that the backing vocals and the lead vocals are probably going to have two different volumes of each. So you might just want to make sure that you've got both, that they're not going to jump out at all or be very difficult to hear. So this one is a question that is basically going to ask you to compress these, but this is the way I would approach this. So what I'm trying to get into with my Ableton file is really quite simple, which is I'm looking for an area where Edexcel have given this main vocal a quiet part going to a loud part and back and forth and back and forth. And I don't really want this because that is my loud part there. I'm not going to compress that because there's no quieter part in there. I would probably be leaning more towards either here and here because there's a quiet part and then there's a louder part. Let me just solo out that and just see what it is. Probably not, but you could do that if you wanted to. I'm just going to have a look at, I think it's at the end here. Yeah, always and don't stop. So let me just zoom into this and just be aware, Can you see that here? What they've done is that they've given you this like quieter part and they've given you this louder part and then a quieter part and then a louder part. Okay, this is probably going to be the area that I'm going to just highlight like this. I'm going to loop that area just so I can just see where I'm going to adjust this. And again, go into audio effects like this and drag and drop a compressor, which is here onto your track. And I'll just turn this one on like this. So on this compressor, what I would recommend that you do, you've got a ratio of a 4:1, which is quite common. I am happy with students using this this visual here. However, I probably would also highly recommend that you do this middle one. It's just a little bit easier to see in a traditional way how a compressor looks. So again, what I'm trying to do is this, just as a reminder about what a compressor does, is that these quieter parts here, I really don't want to compress. It's really these louder ones here and these peaks that I'm really trying to push a bit down. So what I would recommend is that on these areas, you might not want your compressor to be activating here. You might want them to be activating here. So in other words, this GR, which stands for gain reduction, what I want this to be doing is to activate during these higher peaks of this vocal. So again, I just played around with my ratio here, my threshold, and then just maybe me messed around with my output here, and that essentially was it. Just made sure that when I heard this, that it was not going to jump out at all. Now, just as a reminder, it does say lead vocals and backup vocals. So I'm just going to move this one down, and on this track that I've got my my vocal parts for, just make sure that you've also got a compressor on that track as well, because again, as you can see that these are parts here are quite quiet, and that these parts are quite loud. And that's how you're going to answer that question. Let me know if there's any questions.